Off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, TLAV, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness and balance out all of the horrible headlines out there. Guaranteed to give you the 4A syndrome before you start your day angry, aggravated, anxious, and afraid. Instead, I want you to tune in here where you get some heartlines, you get some fun things to laugh at and wonderful things to learn from. And today's no exception. It is time for Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
You know that every Wednesday it is that time of the week to learn from two doctors. I'm a PhD, and that just stands for piled higher and deeper. And then my beautiful inside and out co-host is an MD, medical doctor. So the two of us make up two doctors in the house. And that could sound like the start of a joke, but it's not. Dr. Tiffanie Tate is a U.S. Navy veteran, a published author, and retired OBGyn from Compton, California. She's a playwright, singer, poet, songwriter, and now running for Congress. Dr. Tiffanie is a published author of several books, poetry, lots of children's books. And I just love the way that she takes topics that people don't necessarily teach their kids and puts them in a form that they can learn and be interested at the same time, including money matters, music, and bad touching. That's my favorite. So please welcome back to my studio, Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Always a pleasure to be here, sounding off in your ear.
And good morning to our Cashew Gallery. It looks like Z Queen was the first one in. She's the captain of the Cashew Gallery. We've got April back here. And, that's Dr. Tiffanie saying that. Welcome back to the show. And I had, let's start with breakfast. What are you grateful for? It's called Taking a Bite of My Gratitude Sandwich, top of the bun. Things that we're grateful for outside of ourselves, bottom of the bun. Things that we are grateful for inside of ourselves, that we can go to bed tonight not thinking about all the things we forgot to do or didn't get done, or beating up ourselves, or blaming other people who done me wrong. Instead, you fall asleep knowing all the things that you're especially good at. And that, for me, is the foundation of good mental health. So, Dr. Tiffanie Tate, what are you grateful for on the top of the bun?
I am grateful for a person named Mr. James Beauregard. And he is a person who has been serving Riverside County, specifically in the city of Riverside, for about 46 years in feeding the homeless population. He is somebody who I volunteer with, and I had the pleasure of serving with him on Thanksgiving and this past Sunday.
Oh, that's so nice. I am grateful that this is actually bottom of the bun, but I'll switch it up. I'm a fast dresser. As Dr. Tiffany can attest to, I almost did not have clothes on by the time the show started because I saw her. I matched her. Don't get me wrong, but she reminded me that we only have a few, a limited amount of time to wear uh, not ugly Christmas sweaters, but beautiful Christmas sweaters. And I literally, Dr. Tiffany, I didn't realize one of the arms was inside out, and I was a fraction of a second of being naked on camera this morning, like this close. Just saying, just saying. So I am super grateful for my ability to dress quickly. What else are you grateful for?
And I am grateful that I had the opportunity to host Thanksgiving. First, I did say I did it begrudgingly, kicking and screaming because I was voluntold, but I had the privilege of hosting almost 30 people.
Wow.
And it ended up being a lovely affair.
Oh, good.
And I am grateful for that.
Awesome. I'm sure there was some peach cobbler that you're saving for me. Um, and I will say I am also grateful because I forgot we use this time. I don't let my co-hosts tell me what's going on in their lives until they're on the air. So you don't know that my turkey came out super tender, which I am so grateful. That is like the test. I remember my very first turkey, didn't know about the thawing business, looked great on the outside. Put the knife in it, started bleeding all over. I think my kids had PTSD. Definitely could have been one of the reasons why my husband is now my husband. But I have now perfected tender turkey with my manicurist friend of 28 years. Grape soda turkey recipe.
Hmm.
There you go. What else are you grateful for?
And I am grateful that everyone loved all of my desserts because I did not just make the peach cobbler. I made the peach cobbler, the 7-Up pound cake, a Biscoff cookie cake. I made my caramel chocolate chip cookies, and I also made cranberry lemonade, homemade cranberry lemonade, which is delicious, I might add, as well as green bean casserole, to name a few.
We're going to have to caravan for dessert over to Riverside because I only made it for 3 people, but it was so nice having my daughters down from San Francisco. That was just so delightful. And then my bonus dad, who I sang happy birthday to last show, my guest yesterday, Grammy winner David Longoria, played the trumpet day for him. So that was lovely. We've got a gratitude from the Cashew Gallery. After giving up on true love, I'm grateful to have found mine a few months ago. Wow.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
congratulations.
Yes. Okay. And yeah, exactly. Right. Right, Sea Queen? I hear
got you. I got you.
yeah, like, why didn't you invite me? Exactly. She doesn't love us anymore. Right, Z Queen? Anyways, and congratulations. Maybe that's for my dad, but 96 years young is not it's like a bittersweet thing because my bonus mom passed this past April, and so they would have been married same month 75 years. So he, but he had 3 of the 5 daughters we took them out to Kobe Steakhouse. So he had a good time. If you want to see that clip, go to my Doc Balance on Instagram and Dr. Marissa everywhere else for the social. All right. One more.
And I am thankful that I do have a lot of love and support. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about the topic of the day.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to finish off the top of the bun by saying I'm grateful to the unknown person yesterday who saw my phone attached to my power pack. I don't know how I left it on the top of my car in the parking lot, and I don't know how they knew what store to go in, but they returned it. So
Oh,
I am truly grateful for there's humankind out there. It's a good reminder. Not everybody's, stealing or doing bad things. There's so many good people on the planet. So I don't know who you are. They didn't ask for anything. They just took it to security, and I'm so grateful. I'm very lucky too.
mhm.
Uh-huh. And last, I'm grateful for my bonus family too. Awesome, April. All right, let's go to the bottom of the bun. Weight training for your self-care, self-love, self-esteem. What do you like about yourself, Dr. Tiffany?
I like the fact that right now, during the holidays, a lot of times people are all about themselves. It's me, 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 I. And I like the fact that I am still willing to take some time out. Just like my gratitude, I was thankful for Mr. Bo, and it was the day before Thanksgiving, and he himself had just had surgery, and he just resumed back starting feeding the homeless. And he called me up the day before Thanksgiving and he said, Tiffany, I don't have anybody to help me make plates for the homeless. And I was thinking, okay, I'm about to host, but a lot of people don't even have a home. So am I willing to make that extra sacrifice? Absolutely. I can take time out and go there. And I did get a little pushback from my family. And I'm like, listen, we can eat a little bit later and I can go and make this sacrifice because there are people on the street who won't have a meal. So I think a lot of time we have to do a little bit of self-reflection and see, can we make that sacrifice for our fellow man? Only you can answer that question for yourself. But for me, the answer is yes. Yes, I am. Because we have to put the kindness back into humankind.
Absolutely. I am, I appreciate my ability to change, grow, expand, change my mind and my heart. I am it's funny. I have some real strong BS belief systems about certain things, and I never thought that I would shift those BS belief systems. But I just met someone who is nothing that on paper that I would have been interested in, and we've had some really great conversations. I think the best thing is knowing that what you desire in your heart is not out of bounds. I think that that is something that I continue to learn. The universe is a friendly place. The universe is conspiring for you, never against you. And that's not the prevalent thinking, right? People are suspicious. People are, wary. People think that things are being done against them, and life is unfair. And I'm here to hold that spot in my own life as well. Is that no matter what has happened in the past, the present and the future are limitless. We can always go up. Hashtag UP, hashtag unlimited possibilities.
I like the fact that I have grown in my capacity for love because in the word it says love is patient, love is kind, love does not necessarily keep a tally. And a lot of people say, Tiffany, that's all way too Pollyanna. And maybe it is. But I think that in that perspective, you have to know how to love yourself as well as love others. And in loving yourself, you have to forgive others because if you don't forgive others, you keep all of that hostility within you, and it only stresses you out. It makes your blood pressure go up, and it makes you feel bad, and it deteriorates your health. And while you are sitting there, you have a problem with them and they don't even have a problem with you. So you are stuck in your feelings and you have to let it go, because if you don't let it go, you are the one with the problem while they are perfectly fine. So while people may think it's Pollyanna, no, it's for your personal benefit. So you really have to grow in that type of love and forgiveness for your own personal well-being. It's not being Pollyanna. It's about your personal sanity and your personal well-being.
Absolutely. Let's see. I'll finish it off with I appreciate my ability to laugh often and much, which is one of my my definition of success comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson, to laugh often and much, to know that one life has breathed easier because you have lived. And I know that you and I have met that criteria. And I'm so, 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 so grateful and appreciate my ability to laugh often. And even if it's at myself. All right, that's it for breakfast. Oh, wait, I have one more here. She's April's appreciates that she's able to meet people of all ages and kinds where they are and make them truly feel heard and seen. Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
And kids. Yes, me too. I got that from my dad. He would walk in a room and dogs and kids would run up to him, strangers. And I have a little of that genetic, and I'm glad for that. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. I hope you join me every weekday morning. This is how we start the show, so that instead of doing this MS meaningless scrolling, which will give you those 4 A's, you're going to feel amazing instead and sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. Dr. Tiffany, as I do the Instagram story here, what is the topic of the day?
Safe spaces, safe places, and safe people. And so,
why are we talking about this?
Yes, we're talking about safe spaces, safe places, and safe people, because right now, a lot of people don't necessarily feel emotionally safe. And I think it's concerning. As I talk to different family, different friends, and as I've had to deal with my own issues, sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't talk to this person, or I don't feel comfortable talking to this person. And I have to put up guards. And if you don't know who you can confide in, or when you can confide in someone, or where you can go, I was like, this is probably not just an issue for me. This is probably an issue for a lot of people. So it was something to make me go, let me do some research about this. So what do the numbers show?
What do the numbers show?
I was waiting for you to ask that question. And so in 2025, there was an American study that showed that 69% of adults felt that they needed more emotional support than what they actually received. And then 70% of adults were anxious about keeping themselves or their family safe, which I thought still was pretty high. And then the American Psychiatric Association, the APA, felt that this was an issue that needed to be addressed.
Isn't it Psychological Association? Sorry.
The American Psychiatric Association.
Oh, because APA usually in my world is psychological. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Mhm. Yeah. And so 70% of U.S. adults felt anxious about keeping their family safe. And then in 2025, the survey revealed that 69%, felt that they needed more emotional support. And I was thinking, wow. So between 2023 and 2025, the numbers are still pretty high. And you can even go back to 2021. It was at 80%. So I'm thinking we really have not made much progress from 2021 to 2025. So I'm thinking, okay, this is definitely a topic that we need to talk about. So really, let's define what a safe space
Thank
is,
you.
what
That
a
was my
safe
next
place
question.
is, and who safe people are. Let's just talk about it, and then we can see how we can actually show up for each other, how we can support one another, especially with the holidays, because this is when a lot of people really feel alone, really lack support, and really need their family, their friends. And a lot of times, family is not necessarily the people who you are blood related to.
Family of choice. Yeah, that's come out a
Mhm.
lot. Yeah, I'm glad we're going to define it because as soon as you say emotional support, I go to emotional support dogs. I go to enabling, which is an extreme, not necessarily helpful of emotional support. Doing stuff for people to make them feel better, and they never learn how to make themselves feel better on their
Mhm.
own, and or telling somebody what to do, and really that's not supportive at what they're looking for necessarily. So I'm glad that we're talking about this. And is there a global definition for emotional support?
Yeah, because a lot of times when people think safety, they think, okay, I just need to lock my doors, have seatbelts, have lighting. But no, when emotional safety is like inner permission, like I'm allowed to exist here without fear of judgment or punishment. And that's the thing. A lot of times now, we're judgmental.
What?
And
What?
really?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah,
What?
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Where's my really? Well, yeah, that's a perfect time. You know what's scary is that actually sounds like me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for us a lot of times, especially in light of social media, because people can make a comment and then disappear behind the comment
Mhm.
without being physically seen. They can just make a comment and just scurry away behind their computer or behind their phone, and it's okay theoretically, because if you can recall a time where you felt unexpectedly safe with someone.
Oh, you're asking me?
Mhm.
I feel safe. I felt safe with my dad who passed from lymphoma. I always said he he was a safe place to fall back into. My bonus dad now, same feeling. I feel safe. I can tell him whatever it is, and I know that he's not going to judge me. He'll just sort of chuckle, which is what the the higher power I call my UPS man, universal
Mhm.
power source, same thing. My younger daughter, Sarah, she's very safe. She's really good at not taking sides against me, unlike some other people. Um, or she's really good at just saying, "I'm so sorry, mom." And that was a huge lesson for me because you used to, when someone says they're sad or whatever, I'm into the fix it, let's
Yeah.
yeah. So she's taught me how to just be.
Yeah,
And
and that's the key, to listen without trying to be fixed.
what?
Sometimes people just want to be heard, and think about a time where someone wanted to listen without trying to fix you. Now flip that. Think
Mm,
about a time when you lacked the safety or you felt attacked. And because safety is not the absence of conflict, it's the presence of trust.
Sorry, I was being distracted by the chat. April was saying Sophie Reeser for blended and forged families out there, and Z Queen, God help us. I'm not sure what I was like. God help us for what? Which comment was that from? But ask me the question again. I'm sorry.
I said, think about the time where you felt attacked when you were just trying to get that sense of trust, and you did not get that sense of trust, and you did not get that sense of support.
And this is going to sound like I'm a horrible mom, playing favorites or whatever, but my older daughter will tell you, and she's admitted it, she's not the person to go to, right? Because she will take the other person's side, and she will, she loves playing devil's advocate. And so I know better than to go to her for comfort, right? I go to her for, she's extremely smart, extremely, she's got that covered, but for soft and easy to fall into. No. Yeah. Not safe.
But the interesting part is that about 90% of Americans believe that in their family or within their friend circle, there has been a mental health crisis at some point. And that was conducted by a study between CNN and the Kaiser Health Foundation family. And about 50% of those believe that it was severe within their family and friend group.
And if you heard the sirens, that means that is the truth. That is an important thing to highlight. That's actually, I totally agree with that, because I've never heard as many families. I don't think there's one family I know that is not touched by someone in their immediate family, not even like extended family, who isn't going through some kind of mental health crisis. So that's huge. Now, as a scientist, it makes me think, well, is it one of those, there's always been that, but we haven't been comfortable talking about it? Or is it really on the rise? I think a little of both. My honorable moniker, Oprah, is the one I credit with being comfortable talking about mental health. When she came on the scene in mainstream TV, it was Jerry Springer time, and she actually brought the conversation around to talking about ourselves and how we feel and our families. So thank you, Oprah, for that. And so there is that, maybe it was always there, but I think the pandemic, right? Political, the current fear around country instability, inside and outside, that, yes, I think that if you had a predisposition towards mental illness, not illness, but how do you say anti-mental health? Not great.
Denial. Deniability, yes. If you want to stick your head in the sand, but
Right.
There's 5 C's of mental health. There's the competence, a feeling of capability and mastery of one's abilities, the confidence, a positive self-image and belief in oneself, connection, having supportive relationships and a sense of belonging, character, demonstrating ethical behavior and personal values, and caring, showing empathy, compassion, and concern for oneself and others. So if you have those 5 C's, those 5 components, then you have the sound capacity for the basis of strong mental health. And that's why we want to show up for one another.
What are those 5 C's again?
The 5 C's are competence, confidence, connection, character, and caring.
Okay. I'm going to let that sit and percolate while we go on break. Time always goes fast with you, Dr. Tiffany, on this particular series. It is time for us to take a break for news, weather, traffic on my NBC News radio channel. And you are listening right now to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every morning at 8 a.m. I'm back to my fabulous drive time #1 slot. So if you're listening right now, you're in the right place. We're going to be right back. Don't go away after word from news, weather, traffic, and sponsor. Don't go away. As Chuck Woolery used to say, we'll be back in 2 and 2 or sooner. Peace in and peace out.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I am running for the United States House of Representatives, District 40. As a veteran officer of the United States Navy, I provided care for infants, families, veterans, and active duty military during the global war on terrorism. You want me because I understand medicine. I've spent over 2 decades as a problem solver, and I know that I can go to Capitol Hill and problem solve for you. As an educator, I understand that I can help fight for education. And as an entrepreneur, business owner, and author, I understand the economy, and I know that I can help speak up and speak out and help fight the fight for affordable housing and increased wages. Visit my website at Dr. Tate for Congress. That is DrTateForCongress.com. That is Dr. Tate for Congress. Learn more about me. Consider making a donation to my campaign. Help me help you. My name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I approve this message. Paid for by Dr. Tate for Congress.
Well, she has been dubbed the Asian Oprah, and she just wants all of us to be happy.
Dr. Marissa, aka the Asian Oprah, says the most important thing you can choose is choosing to be happy.
You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa.
That's the idea for Dr. Marissa Pei's new book called 8 Ways to Be Happy.
Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it. Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel, which if you free subscribe, you'll get a little alert every weekday morning. So you can stop asking Dr. Tiffany what the link is. And yes, it is time for Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
welcome back. We are talking about, what are we talking about, Dr. Tiffany?
We are talking about safe places, spaces, and people.
got the order wrong that time. But that's what we're talking about. Great topic, especially during the holidays. How safe are you feeling? I think I'm going to go back to something that Z Queen said in the chat about life is chaotic. And there are aspects of life that are chaotic, and 100% of the time, the news will bring to the forefront all those things that are chaotic. And therefore, we start believing that it is really bad. I'm not saying that there are not really bad things happening. However, it is my job to balance out bad news with good news. And there is a phenomena called the Pygmalion effect. I'm a psychologist, organizational psychologist. I talk about this when I work with companies. What you believe will affect what you actually see. So, news aside, if you believe someone's an idiot, guess what? You're going to see them do things that are idiotic. And in fact, if they don't do idiotic things, you won't even see them. That's the power of our focus and our BS belief systems. So my challenge, my Happy 88 challenge this week is, can we look and focus on things, people, places, and things that are evidence of well-being? I can. It sometimes is not well. It is easier if I don't watch TV. It is easier. That's why I got rid of the TV 7 years ago. It is easier if I don't start my morning, doing MS, meaningless scrolling. It does help if I don't talk about the headlines. I ban Dr. Tiffanie from telling me the atrocious, because I don't, if it's something I can't help change, I don't want to know. And I get a lot of flack for that because I'm being Pollyanna, or not polyamorous, Pollyanna. But, for me, it's such a strong discipline that works, because I'll tell you, having someone find my phone, they are fabulous. And at the same time, I am very strict with myself on holding BS belief systems that make me feel good and not bad. So when I don't like someone, guess what? I don't look at them. I try to minimize the encounter. I don't talk about them to my friends. I just go, have a great life. So I'm not disagreeing with you, Z Queen, but I am using your comment, and I'm sure you do it already, but I'm using it for everyone that's watching now or later, that this is such an important good life habit to have.
Oh, absolutely. And when it comes to safe spaces, it's the environment you put yourself in. And that's how you make your space safe, because a safe space can be physical, emotional, or even digital. And it's a place where you can express yourself without fear of ridicule, belittlement, or emotional harm. And if you're putting yourself in a space where people don't bring you up, that's a form of emotional harm. And so you want a place where you're comfortable, and putting yourself in a space where somebody makes you emotionally distraught. Why put yourself through that? And it could be in a friend's home, it could be an online chat room. It's whatever makes you comfortable, whether it's a forum, a physical community. It's about respect, it's about boundaries and accountability.
Absolutely. And yes, I know you do. Focus on evidence outside Christ. Nothing is madness. We've got 100%. I don't want to know. And found my safe space at age 50. So it is, it's not the C word that is important for me. It's the word, the CH word, choice. And a lot of us have become a little lax about our muscle to choose. We think that, who was talking the other day? this is going on and that's going on and this is going on. And I'm like, yeah, I can see the gun that is at your head for you to force you to be watching that. A little bit of, you
Right.
don't have to look at it. That's my rule. And maybe you want to, I talked about this on Mental Health Monday Matters, actually, is if you were going to post something, right? And it's a little controversial, right? And you can't help yourself, you're going to post it. I'm not asking you not to post it. Post it. But is the first time someone disagrees with you, don't post back. See if you can't do that. Very difficult. That's why I don't post controversial things, is because you're poking the animal. Do not poke the animal.
I think it's
short.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that labels don't create safety, behavior does. And you have to be in control of your behavior and the people you surround yourself with. And it's all about what you do, how you do it, and who you do it with. And that leads us into safe places and safe people. And I think we have to be cognizant of what you do. Your bedroom might be the safe place for you. I like my movie room. And most people know when they call me, I call it the green room because it's painted green and it's tranquil for me. And I sit there and I put my feet up and I relax and I have my heated blanket. Even in the summer, I love my heated blanket because it relaxes my joints and I'm snuggled with my blanket. And that is my safe space. Your safe space might be someplace different. Everyone's safe space is something different.
Yeah. To designate a place where you can just breathe. When I do happiness coaching, I ask my clients to put on their phone at the top of the hour a little sound that reminds them at the top of the hour just to sit back, whatever they're doing, hit save, and just do my 3 breath technology. That way, every place is safe, no matter where you are, where you go. So let's just do it real quick right now. Breathing in through the nose. You can gently close your outer eye if you'd like. In through the nose. And releasing soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. That's the breath activating your body, physical realm. And a second breath in. And releasing all the stories and the drama. That's activating your mental and emotional. And then the third and final breath, not final breath, but the third breath in the 3 breath technology, in through the nose. And now you're going to connect with me through chi, eternal energy, the breath of life, no beginning, no end. That breath keeps going and connecting and release. And that took not that long. And I feel better right now. I feel more solid, right? And
Relax, relate, release.
yeah. Top of the hour, just that's the breath of life. And we're all connected. But a lot of us are holding our breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for someone to hurt us. And we're starving ourselves of that oxygen that feeds the brain and the heart. Thank you for doing that with me.
Oh, absolutely. And some people, they might actually want noise. Some people like music. Some people might need noise to relax. I can't tell you what your safe space or place looks like. Dr. Marissa can't either. You know yourself. Do you, boo? And so figure it out and make it happen. So where do you go when you need to regulate yourself? Where does your mind choose? Do you need to walk in the park? Figure it out and take that time, especially in the midst of this hustle and bustle during the holiday, because you're going to need some you time. And surround yourself with some safe people, because safe people are important. Safe people are not perfect people. So I'm not saying that they're perfect. That's number one. But safe people are deeply personal people who you feel comfortable talking to. And that is inherently important, and they're consistent people. They're not people who are going to rush you on the phone. They're going to actually take the time to hear you. And everybody is not willing to listen to you. You know who they are. They're consistent, and they're not flawless, but they are accountable to you, and they're dependable.
Yeah, I'm gonna offer the balance on that one. April said it's a person. People, as Dr. Tiffany said, are not perfect, and 80% of the time they will be there for you. 20% of the time they will not be, because they're human. So I would suggest not placing 100% of your safe space in another person. I think the safest person to put your safe place is yourself. You are also 80% of the time compassionate with yourself and 20% of the time not. And learning how to say, okie dokie, I just stepped in it and it's okay because I'm not perfect, is part of personal mastery, is a skill. It is a quality that will help you claim your birthright to happiness. Because if you're too hard on yourself, that's one end, then you're not a safe place for yourself, right? On the other hand, if you are complaining about the same thing over and over and over again, and you get ticked off or in your piss offedness when someone doesn't want to hang on the phone with you, you might want to look at your ability to soothe yourself. That, my friends, is, I think, way more important than spending hours on the phone, because it's not fair for them. I call it the vent partner activity. You find one person, they time you 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes where you get it all out. You can use names, you can use curse words if it doesn't bother that person. And then, unless something changes, you can't talk about that again. That's training. That's personal mastery, because you're never going to get that time back.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. And then you also have to be careful if somebody always wants to vent to you and pour into you, but they don't allow you to pour into them. Be cautious, because you don't want it to be a one-way street. And here are some things to help you identify safe people. They will listen to understand and not respond. And they won't make you feel rushed. And they won't talk over you. They will allow you to feel heard. And they won't weaponize your vulnerability. That way, what you share is trusted, and you feel like it's kind of sacred, and they will respect your boundaries. You want to feel respected in the relationship. There's no guilt and no pushback, and they are emotionally consistent. You don't have to scan their mood to see if it's okay for you to talk. And you don't have to become small to stay safe. So it's okay for you to talk to them. And they repair when they cause harm, because not with an excuse, but with accountability. I think safe people allow you to relax as yourself. You don't have to show up as someone else. You're okay with being who you are.
Great. The point about are they want to vent, but they don't want to be vented at. That's the second part of the vent partner tool that I just gave you. If you vent to someone for 2 minutes, they have the opportunity that day to come back and get vented for 2 minutes. Same thing. If you don't use those 2 minutes, not like singular, no rollover, you don't get 4 minutes tomorrow. So but knowing you have that opportunity, and make sure they are closed-mouthed. You want them to be open-minded, but closed-mouthed, because you don't want them to be going, oh, you're never going to believe what so-and-so said about you. So, yeah.
And if you don't know if the person is safe, here's a clue. A safe person will expand you. They make you feel like, oh, oof, I feel relief. But an unsafe person shrinks you. You walk away feeling worse than when you started the conversation. By the time you finish the conversation, you'll kind of have a litmus test as to how it went. You'll be like, oh my goodness. So, and if you have a safe person in your life, they are a gift.
Absolutely. Yeah. Trial and error, finding a vent partner for sure. The I, I have wonderful thoughts. They just don't always stay here. So good. Keep talking and it'll come back.
Okay, yeah. And there's, scientifically speaking, there's like a neurological feeling when you are safe versus unsafe. So emotionally or physically, the brain activates its threat response. There's like that fight, flight, freeze response. So your rational thinking decreases, your creativity shrinks, and your ability to trust or listen is impaired because your body is not trying to thrive, is now trying to survive. So you're like, okay, I
Yeah.
just need to get away from this conversation.
Right. Absolutely. I remembered there's a gender difference in this particular thing. Those of you who think we are all the same, we are not. Thank goodness. And this is not a stereotype. They've done studies on this, the way that men and women communicate, the differences in the way they process information. And on this particular topic, it has really helped a lot of relationships because the tendency in most women, not all women, is they are, when they vent, it is a helpful release of that pent up negative energy that they literally release when they talk about it. For many men, when they hear something that sounds like a problem, they immediately go to fixing. That is their strength. That is their go to. How can I help? And my husband and I would have this interaction. I'd come back from traffic and I would say, it was just horrible, on the 405 or whatever it was, getting back and da. I was releasing that negative energy around my commute. And his response would be, well, if you'd left 5 minutes earlier, if you had taken this street instead of that street, or if you had, and I'm like, okay, so wasn't his fault. There were other things that were his fault. Just kidding. It wasn't his fault. His desire, his motive in saying those things was not to piss me off. It was to provide a solution for the next time so I could avoid this angst. So just, play with that one. See if that might help alleviate some of the tension maybe on when you're venting. So the lesson in that was, for me, I wouldn't vent to him. I picked someone who I knew, coming full circle of what Dr. Tiffanie said before the break, finding that person who, gets you and just knows and just says things like, oh, poor baby.
Yeah, he no longer was safe.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to fix it.
Yeah. And it's interesting because when you feel safe, a whole nother system activates. It's like the ventral vagal system, and your social engagement system is activated. And that's when you access like curiosity and empathy and openness and problem solving and connection. And that's why safe people bring out the best in you, and your unsafe environments bring out a version of yourself that you don't always necessarily like. Safety is not a luxury. It's like biology, and it's a beautiful thing, and it helps relationships blossom. And that's why he is now your husband and not a current a current situation. And you can actually foster and create safety for others. And the way you do that is by using like I statements, naming your intentions, like I want us to understand each other, honor and respect boundaries, and don't give advice unless it's asked for. Just more so
Mhm.
support each other,
Mhm.
validate feelings without trying to fix them, ask open-ended questions, and check in during hard conversations. Like, are you okay to keep talking about this? Because safety isn't perfection, safety is responsiveness. And without
Mhm.
that responsiveness, you don't have connections, be it at work, be it with friendships, be it in families, and be it in intimate relationships.
Mhm. Great points. Allow people the freedom to feel their emotions fully is my biggest advice. The tendency for our society, I think, and culture to be uncomfortable with crying. I will get triggered if someone tries to stop someone from crying because it's so important. I make a point of crying once a week at least because tears are the disinfectant that keep our hearts soft. It's okay. If you're uncomfortable with it, that's on you, boo. It's so important to allow people to, I go back to the library with the Seal Beach Salon shooting, and the grief experts had a clipboard with all the steps in which, what to say. And so silence is golden. Silence and allow, and just if they want to be hugged, I let people I went like this, right? And they know that means they can just lean on and just let people cry. Ah, obviously that's a button for me. It's so good to allow yourself to cry and other people to cry, because if you can't be sad and fully sad, if you can't be mad and fully mad safely, then you're closing the door of your emotions like the dumbwaiter. You're not allowing yourself to feel this part. Therefore, this part, excitement, exhilaration, peace, wonder, bliss, that all gets closed out if you stop yourself from feeling those sad, angry, irritated. Feel it fully. Stomp your feet, right? Silent scream, because I have to protect my voice. I don't scream anymore when I'm pissed, but I will stomp my feet. And the feeling fully is the we're the only sentient beings that do that, right?
Hmm.
Dogs have some feeling, but not the way that we can. So let's not cut ourselves off and just be okay or fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Uh, Stands for effed up, irrational, neurotic, and emotional. We don't want that. We want feel your feelings fully and then move into the power. Past the pain into power.
Hmm. And safe people feel like you can breathe. Your no is respected. You feel energized and not drained. And your mistakes are met with compassion and not cruelty. Unsafe people feel like chaos, like Z Queen said, confusion, you're walking on eggshells, guilt, shame, emotional manipulation. And you either feel like you're either too much or not enough. Because safety isn't something we stumble into, safety is something we learn, we create, and we protect. So, I always want you to think about, how is it that I can be safety for someone else? And how is it that I can foster safety for myself, within myself, and within the world around me? Be
Mhm.
blessed.
Great final word there. My final word is when you're going home for the holidays, and some of you may say, well, then I'm not going home for the holidays because there's unsafe people there. No, I want you to create and can't remember who told me this. Create around you. This is the creation. You have the ability to create a safe space by having flowers all over you. And when someone picks at you, they get a flower. That's my final word. Thank you so much, Dr. Tiffanie. Do you have a 30-second?
Sure. Surround yourself with people who help you breathe a little easier. And remember, keep breathing, stay positive. You got this.
Just breathe. Just breathe. Thank you so much, Dr. Tiffanie. Thank you all for being here and being part of this fabulous episode of Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Dr. Tiffanie, take us out.
Now go and have the best day ever.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.